This is Miss Warren. Today we're going to walk through the instructions for the Civil War timeline. You're going to get some instructions here. Here's your Civil War timeline instructions. You're going to pick out 10 major events, and you will have to find the month and the year of each event, as well as to require to have a short description of each. But first we're going to talk about your timeline. Now your timeline is different than the ones you've done before, and I'll show you how. First, you're going to take, this is a legal size piece of paper, and this is just a suggestion on your length. You're going to draw one big line. It's 12 inches. You're going to put an arrow on each side because time will be extended on both sides. So we're going to start with our first segment here, and each year of the Civil War will require a line, and they'll be approximately 2 inches apart. Now if you want a different design, you just measure out how long you want your timeline and divide it by 6, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments. Now you're going to label each line will represent a year. We're going to start with 1861 and then go through and label each segment. 64, 1865, and 1866. And you can see I got a little extra space, but if you want to start with 1860. Okay. Now, when you are putting your events, please look at mine in the room for instructions, but you just can't put like Fort Sumter happened in 1861. Well, we don't want you to put everything that happened in 1861 in that line. You got to figure out what the date is. So we know the month and the date, or the month and the year. Now we know that April 12th was when it happened. So April's about, let's see, January, February, March, April, about right here. So we're going to put a little line. We're going to extend it up a little bit because we want enough room to write it out. So this would be the Battle of Fort Sumter. Now on the back, I don't have a whole lot of room there, so on the back, I'll probably write out why, my short description of why it's important. If you look back over at your directions, it gives you more of a detailed description of each one of these, how to draw your timeline. Make sure that you use both sides of your timeline because it's going to get crowded, and you're going to have 5 pictures that you're going to have to illustrate this with. So that's the basics of the timeline, and you look on the back, there's even more instructions as well as a rubric on how everything breaks down when you get graded. So if you have any questions, please let me know.